All right, so today we are working on a 1998 Honda CR-V. This car is common as dirt in these parts. We're in Portland, Oregon, and I don't know why they're so popular. I must work on one of these at least once a week, if not more. I love them, they're great, and for the most part, they're reliable, they're fuel efficient, they haul and do a lot of things. They can't pull a boat, but they can haul families, and you can go up the mountains and the snow and that type of thing. But the reason for my video is I want to point out, everyone thinks this B20, it's a 2-liter, has, well, not everyone, but most people think that it has self-adjusting valves. It doesn't. And just about every one of these Honda CR-Vs that comes in my shop has tight valves. And a lot of them run rough. And when I give them back to the customers after adjusting the valves, they're like, whoa, what'd you do? You tuned it up. It's never run so good. So today we're going to do that. Okay, so we're back doing our valve adjustment here on our 1998 Honda CR-V. And one of the first things you do is, obviously you pull the valve cover off like that. Make sure you can reuse the gasket. Most of the time you have to replace the gasket, the spark plug well tubes, seals, and also the grommets. And the next thing you do is you take a look at the timing belt. This one here supposedly has been replaced. It's got a little bit of play in it. What I like to do is stick my tool right through here. You can see that. This is my 19 millimeter deep socket. Get a light on there. On the crankshaft, you can rotate the engine. Rotate the engine so that the timing marks, which I've marked here, one there, one there, one there, create a straight line all the way across, and the crankshaft balancer is on the TDC mark, not the timing mark, but the TDC mark. The timing mark has 3 little marks. One's red, and there's a white one on each side, and the timing mark is about 30 degrees away. So once you've got that established, make sure that the timing belt is in time. You don't want to mess with it if one of the teeth is off, or somebody's put the timing belt on wrong to where a tooth is off. It'll run really bad. And the next thing you do, take your feeler gauge. All the intake valves need to have 6/1000 clearance between the base of the cam, which is not the pointy end, but the base circle, and the rocker, or the, what do we call the little trunnion guy. And you can adjust it by loosening up this 12 millimeter nut and turning it with a screwdriver. All the exhaust valve clearances need to be 8/1000. So 6/1000, 5 to 6/1000 for the intakes, and 7 to 8/1000 for the exhaust. And like I thought, tight, tight, tight. Everything is tight. I can't get a 6 in there. I did adjust this one, and I got a 5 in there. So it's between 5 and 6, which is good. I'm going to roll the motor over a little bit, my tool, until we get another base circle. Let me grab it here. So we're working on number 4 cylinder. That's going to be the next one with the base cylinder that comes up. Or, I'm sorry, the base of the cam lobe is what I'm trying to say. So we take our feeler gauge here, and I can bet you $100 it's going to be tight. Tight. Can't get a 5 in there. Cannot get a 5 in there. So what you do, it's hard to do holding the camera here. Everything is very slippery. Is you simply just loosen the nut, like so, and give her a twist, just like that. All right, we'll catch up later. All right, so we're just finishing up on our valve adjustment here, and just making sure that 8/1000 feeler gauge goes on the exhaust. One thing that amazes me on the exhaust valve adjustment on these CR-Vs is how tight they get. I mean, I removed probably 5/1000 of an inch on each one of those to bring it to spec. 5/1000. I mean, it only had 2 or 3/1000 of clearance. That's tight. I've actually had a CR-V, not this one, but a silver one just like this, come in a couple weeks ago, and it was running poorly, not because it was out of tune, not because it was misfiring on a spark plug, but it was misfiring because the valve was so tight, one of the exhaust valves, that it created a miss. Check engine light came on and started dying, couldn't get through DEQ, all that stuff. So pretty crazy. So it's important that CRV owners know that the valves need to be adjusted to make these things run good. So I'll do a little video here once we get it all buttoned back up and see how she does. All right, so we finished up doing the valve adjustment on our CRV. We've got it out running here. This is the B20 engine. Sounds really good. Very smooth, just like a Honda should sound. And this one will live a long, happy life, being that the valves are not too tight. So I hope you learned something today. Thanks for checking me out and subscribing to my channel.